Once again, I welcome all of you to my YouTube channel, Sir Abhishek Barman. Today's topic is Ode to a Nightingale by John Keats. This poem is one of the most important poems in English literature. And John Keats, he was the perfect romanticist and lyricist in English literature. His most of the verses are regarded as or known as vivid imageries and sensuous appeal. John Keats had no any extraneous purpose, moral, political, or philosophical. His only objective was to discover or unfold beauty. That kind of beauty is found in everything in human life, in nature, and also in art. He concluded or established by saying, beauty is truth and truth beauty. His poetry is regarded as one of the most important romantic poems in English literature. It was 1819, the month of May. John Keats was sitting in a bower under a plum tree of his a friend's house. The name of his friend was Charles Armitage Brown at Hampstead. When he was sitting in a bower, a beautiful summer day in the early in the morning, actually he heard a song of a nightingale. He was captivated. He feels ecstatic joy after hearing the song of the bird. And then he sat there 3 or 4 hours so that he composed this poem, Ode to a Nightingale. Here, today I am going to discuss part 1, stanza number 1 to 4. Though the poem was not written in 2 parts, but for the convenience of the students, I divided the poem into 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. Today, I'm going to discuss about part 1, and next Sunday at just 6 p.m., I will upload the next part. So let's get started. My heart aches and a drowsy numbness pains my sense, as though of hemlock I had drunk, or emptied some dull opiate to the drains. 1 minute passed, and the little word had sung, it's not through envy of the happy lot. Here, I also provided lots of word meaning so that it will be helpful to you to understand each and every word meaning of the poem. So let's get started word by word. My heart aches on hearing the song of the nightingale. John Keats feels a sense of happiness. This happiness is so much so intense to him that happiness almost runs into a sort of pains in his heart. And a drowsy numbness pains. Drowsy means sleepy, numbness means benumbed, that is inactive. Such pains inflicted his mind, and it causes he falls in a sleepy mood. And that sleepy mood or feeling benumbs his senses, as though of hemlock I had drunk. After that, Don Keats imagines that. Why does he feel such kind of feeling? Probably he drank hemlock. Hemlock is a poisonous plant. He definitely drank hemlock or emptied some dull opiate to the drains. Opiate means preparation of opium, that is also a narcotic. Then he said that maybe he drank opiate or a kind of narcotic to the last drop. That is, he he emptied, he drank the narcotic full amount to the dregs. 1 minute passed. After some moment, and Lithi words had sunk. Lithi means a classical mythological river of the underground or underworld, the water of which river causes forgetfulness. Now, the poet feels that probably he had sunk into the water of the Lithi river because after hearing the song of the nightingale, he became oblivious of his past life. He feels a sense of restlessness in his mind, and then he emphatically declares that it's not through the envy of the happy Lord. Someone may doubt that. Probably the poet was envious of the nightingale for its beautiful singing. No, he convincingly declares that this kind of feeling is not for the cause of the envy of the nightingale. And then, what is the reason? What is the reason of its feeling? Later, he already disclosed. Next, we proceed. But being too happy in thine happiness, that thou, light winged dried of the trees, in some melodious plot of bison green and shadows numberless, singest of summer in full throated eve. Then the poet declares that such kind of ecstasy or ecstatic happiness is the cause of the happiness of the nightingale singing. That is, the song of the nightingale has so intense happiness that it creates same kind of happiness in the mind of the poet. The poet was feeling such kind of happiness for the happiness of the singing of the nightingale, not out of the envy of the bird nightingale. That thou means you, light winged, dried of the trees. Here, dry, dried means a tree name. Let we know the classical mythological influences are vividly depicted in the writing of John Keats. Here we also get an influence of classical mythological reference. Nightingale was projected as not a bird of blood and flesh. It was injected or projected by the classical mythologist as a it's a goddess of tree that that flies with its light wing to one tree to another in some melodious plot. Here John Keats wants to say that the tree is different. The bird is definitely not a bird. It is something beyond the bird of blood and flesh. Because a bird of blood, merely a blood of flesh, can't produce such kind of melodious song. And that melody of the nightingale, that is the melodious song of the nightingale, echo, echoed in the uncountable these trees. And after echoing, the sound of the nightingale flooded the plot, flooded the land to the song of the nightingale. And the song overflooded and transformed the land into a melodious land. It's a romantic plot of bison green. That is, there are uncountable beech trees, and trees are full of green leaves, and shadows numberless. There are uncountable passes of light and shadows due to the penetrating of the moonbeam. Singest of summer in full throated is here. John Keats said that the bird is 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 producing such melodious song in a beautiful summer. The season is very much beautiful. In that beautiful summer, the bird is sitting on the branches of the tree and produces a kind of melodious song, full throated, that is completely effortlessly, completely free and spontaneously having no effort is sitting in that beautiful place in a beautiful season that is summer. It sings the marvelous song without any effort. Next stanza 2. Oh, what a draught of vintage that hath been cold a long age in the deep delved earth, trusting of flora and the country green, dance and provincial song, and burnt mud. Oh, for a beacon full of the warm south. Here, after hearing the song of the nightingale, the poet wishes to go to the world of the nightingale for, for making his escapement fruitful. He wishes a draught of vintage, that is, oh, he longs for, he ardently desires of what for a draught means a quantity of vintage mean wine produced from grapes. He wishes a cup of wine produced from the grapes that hath been poured a long age in the deep delved earth. It was believed by the Greeks that if the wine is kept underground for a long time, it would be more delicious than the other. And that's why it's wishes a kind of wine. That wine must be kept for age, means years for years underground. And that would be very much fruitful to go to make his statement fruitful or active. Trusting of flora and the country green, dance and provincial song, and sunburnt mark. Trusting of flora here. Flora is the goddess of wine and flower. Here, John Keats visualizes a cup of wine. That wine must be produced from the southern portion of France and Italy. That wine is much more delicious than the other part because of the association of the goddess of wine, Flora. The poet wishes that particular kind of wine, the country green dance and provision song and sunburnt mark. The poet wishes to enjoy the festival of the country people. The festival is associated with flora, and he would enjoy the festival of that festival is celebrated with dance, provincial song, and sunburnt mirth. That is, the people of the sunburnt area. He wishes to he wishes to drink a kind of wine of the southern portion of France, and he would enjoy the festival of the sunburnt mirth. That is, merrymaking festival of the sunburnt people of the southern portion of France. Oh, for a Bika, he wants to. Once again, he wishes a Bika, that is a vessel, and that vessel should be full of the warm south. That is, that vessel must be contained with the particular wine produced from the southern portion of France. That would be much more delicious, much more tasty, and that tasty wine would act as an aid to escape from the suffering mundane world, the dreamland of the bird nightingale. Oh, sorry, full of the true blushful hippocrene with beetle bubbles winking at the brim and purple stained mouth, that he might drink and leave the world unseen, and with thee fade away into the forest dim. Here once again John Keats clearly said that he wishes a cup of wine, a vessel full of wine. That wine must be true. That is, there will be no such kind of false things. That will be concrete wine filled the beaker. That is, filled the cup, the blissful hypocrite. Lustful means rose like red color. Hypocrite means hypocrite also a fountain of Mount Helicon. The water of fountain is regarded as sacred, and that sacred is the true inspiration of a poet. And that's why the poet here, the poet here wants the wants the water from hypocrite and with beaded bubbles winking at the brim. This is a brilliant imagery used by John Keats. Here, when the wine will be poured into the glass or the cup, it would create automatically some bubbles. The glass will be filled upper portion, and the bubbles where the bubbles will be seen. The bubbles will be seen at the winking. That is the a winking, twinkling where at the brim. That is of the glass, at the brim of the glass, at the edge of the glass. The poet here wishes to drink a wine, the water of the hypocrite that would fill the glass at the brim, at the corner of the upper portion, that is at the edge of the glass, and it would be filled with hidden bubbles and the purple stained mouth. This is also a brilliant imagery. Here, purple stained mouth means mouth means when he would drink the wine, that wine, the red rose like wine, after some time, with the contact of the air, it would be transformed into the purple stained. That is, the beaker will be filled with such kind of wine. That wine, after drinking, it would paint a mark on the leaf of the poet that would be purple color, that I might drink and leave the world unseen. Once again, he expressed his wish that after drinking such kind of wine, after having such kind of particular wine, he would leave the world or the mundane world. That world he depicted later we know, and he would transport to the world of the nightingale that is unseen, because he doesn't know what is the actual world of the nightingale, and that's why he said that the world, unseen world of the nightingale, he wishes to live. And with thee fade away into the forest dim. Here, forest demons here, midnight forest, the deep forest. Here, after taking such kind of alcohol or wine or these materials, he would be able to transport from the mundane world, which is the world of sufferings, miseries, and sorrows, and fever, and frustration, and diseases, and failures. And after that, after drinking such kind of wine, he would be able to transport to the world of, in the third stanza, fade far away, dissolve, and quite forget what thou among the leaves hast never known, the weariness, the fever, and the fate. Here, for men sit and hear each other groan, where once she shakes a few sad last grey hairs. Here, once again, the poet wishes to wishes to leave the world, that is a mundane world full of sufferings and miseries. He wants to enjoy the world of the nightingale. And that's why he said that fate. Fate means he wants to escape far away. It's a long distance. The long distance area that that has no any kind of sufferings to which the poet is going through now. Dissolve after going to that new land or that place of the place of nightingale. He wants to lose his identity and dissolve, that is melt down in the world of the nightingale and quite forget. And he wants to be oblivious of the past incidents or the experience of the mundane world. What thou among the leaves hast never known. Here, the poet wants to say that probably the world of Nightingale, more specifically the Nightingale, doesn't know the sorrow, sufferings, and frustration what the people of the mundane world suffers from. The Nightingale is completely unaware about these, the weariness, the fever, and the freight. Here, the poet John Keats uh, wants to depict the normal picture of the mundane world people. Here in the mundane world, the weariness, that is the tiredness, the exertion, the that after suffering from long kind of bitter experiences, he becomes tired, exhausted, and the fever, different kind of diseases are the outcome of weariness and the freight. That is, after suffering from weariness, fever, one must have to undergo such kind of frustration, such kind of different kind of contagious disease, different kind of difficult disease. Yeah, so we should keep in mind. That the poet's younger brother Tom, who was died just before the composition of the poem, just 5 months before, he wants to say that in the mundane world, every people has to face such kind of bitter experiences. That is weariness, fever, and the fate here, that is in the mundane world, where men sit and hear each other groan. This is a dismal picture of the mundane world. Here, when one suffers from frustration or any kind of bitter experiences, he wants to get relief from that experiences, and in order to get relief, he goes to someone and sit in beside of him or her to get relaxed. But irony of fate is that after sitting there, instead of getting relaxation, he also overburdened with the same history, same bitterness. He wants to relieve his suffering is suffered by the people with whom he is now sitting. That is, here is and every people suffers from different kind of difficult situation, and whenever he wants to get relief, when he or she goes to someone else, after sitting there, instead of getting relaxed, he hears the same history, that the same sufferings that people also suffers from, where palsy shakes a few sad last gray hairs. Here, palsy shakes means the paralysis in old age. Normally, in the mundane world, after a span of time, people becomes paralysis. That is, after going through such kind of bad experiences, he or she has to face that situation. After a span of time, he has to go through the palsy, say the paralysis in old age, and they become sad last gray hairs. Here gray hair means here is and every people loses his youthful vigor, youthful energy, youthful beauty. That is, each and everyone has to go through that kind of particular situation, fever, freight, weariness, and then palsy, that is paralysis, and and in this way, he or she loses his or her vitality, his youthful vigor. That is, his hair turns into gray. Next, youth grows pale and scepter thin and dies. Her but to think is to be full of sorrow and leaden-eyed despairs, where beauty cannot keep her luster eyes, or new love pine at them beyond tomorrow. Here, here the poet presented a very practical and practical experiences, practical picture of the people of the mundane world. Here, where youth grows pale, that is, youth cannot retain its youthful vigor, and after span of time, he definitely loses his youthful vigor and turns into pale, that is colorless and scepter thin. After that, he becomes so much so thin, like a ghost, dies. and after suffering from this stage, he must die. Here also he wants to refer the death of his younger brother Tom, who has died after suffering from tuberculosis and died prematurely. But though it is a personal experience he shared, but he does not want to share his personal feelings with the readers. He wants to depict the picture as well. There is a general picture of the human being in the mundane world, where but to think is to be full of sorrow and leaden eye despairs. This is also a normal picture. Here, leaden eyes mean eyes heavy with sorrow. Here, each and every people, every people suffers from any kind of sorrow or sadness, and that's why that kind of sadness or sorrows or failures or frustration makes their eyes laden, that is overburdened with the sad experiences. Here, where but to think is to be full of sorrow. If no man is there who can think independently or joyfully, every man, if wants to think, he has to think sorrowfully, because everybody's eyes not filled with the glow or the vitality. Each and every eye is filled with the frustration, where beauty cannot keep her lustrous eyes. Lustrous eyes here means eyes beaming with the glow of health and youth. That is the beautiful eyes, the lustrous eyes, the eyes filled with vitality and youthful vigor definitely perishes. That is beauty, the youthful, the young people cannot retain, cannot preserve, or cannot store his or her beauty for a long time. After a span of time, every beauty must lose, every young man or girl must lose his lustrous eyes, the eyes of beauty full of glow and beauty, or new love pine at them beyond tomorrow. Here, each and every beautiful thing is unseen. Even love, new love, the love who just, that is the awakening of new love, that is the new lover, are not exception of that. They also have to face the same destiny. That is, their love is also transient. That is, their love is also must go through after a span of time, lost their vitality or youthful vigor to make love each other. Let's move in the stanza 4. Away, away, for I will fly to thee, not saluted by Bacchus and his birds, but on the viewless wings of poesy, to the dull brain perplex and returns. Already with thee, tender is the night. In the fourth stanza, we see that poet, the poet here gives up the idea of taking the wine to make his statement to the world of the nightingale. Here, here, the poet wishes to fly, wishes to go away, away, for I will fly to thee. The poet here wishes to fly, wishes to go to the world of the nightingale, not saluted by Bacchus. Bacchus here is the god of wine, and his parts and parts me here the leopards. The poet here doesn't agree to go to the worlds of the nightingale with the help of the wine. And that's why he referred the word to the Bacchus and his parts. But how he would fly to the nightingale? He said that, but on the viewless wings of poesy, after giving up the idea of taking alcohol, he wants to transport to the world of nightingale with the help of viewless means invisible wings means the imagination of poesy, that is poetry. As the poet himself is a great poet, he has the power of imagination. He wants to travel, he wants to transport to the world of the nightingale with the mighty power of poetic imagination. Though the dull brain perplexes and returns. Here, dull brain means the confused brain perplexes and retards, creates the confusion and retards, that is the obstacles. Yeah, the poet wants to say that he has to go through the lots of trouble, lots of suffering and sadness, and the lots of bitter experiences are in his mind. That mind is definitely, that brain is definitely dull to go to the world of the nightingale. And that, if that experiences of his life creates in his journey a, as an obstacles, as an as a barrier to go to the world of the nightingale, because the world of the nightingale is free from such kind of bitter experiences. As his mind is inflicted with that kind of experiences, that is the sufferings of the human being, he is he is facing some difficulties to go to enter in the world of the nightingale already with thee. And then and then with the help of his poetic inspiration, already he finds that he already is transported in the world of the nightingale with thee. Means the nightingale, tender is the night here. Tender is the night means the night is very much soft. For what? Because the night is very much relaxing, very much pleasant. In this way, with the help of his poetic power, he transported to the world of the nightingale. And and happily the queen moon is on her throne, clustered around by all her starry face. But here there is no light. Say, what from heaven is with the breezes blown through Ardura's glooms and winding mosey ways? Here, hopefully means probably, means perhaps. After reaching there, the poet says that Queen Moon, that is the moon, is is taking in its seat in its throne. She is sitting in her seat, clustered around by all her fairy stars, starry face. Here, we know that the moon is the queen moon is Diana. That is, Diana is the goddess of moon. Starry face, starry means stars. Our face here refers to the fairies. Poet here imagined that the stars are doing the work of the fairy. Here, the fairy stars clustered around, that is, centers around the moon. Safe. That is, safe means here, except what from heaven is with a breeze blown here. The poet says that only one thing penetrates into the world of the nightingale is the breeze, the light wind that blows in the world of the nightingale and through the verdurous glooms. Here, verdurous glooms means the darkness because of the rich vegetation. We know that there are lots of trees, the dense trees. In the dense trees, the light wind blows, but the light blowing of the wind, it creates shaking in the branches or the leaves of the trees. For that movement, upwards and lower motion, there creates the moonbeam penetrates and winding mosey ways. Then through this light, the poet can see that winding, that is zigzag. Mosey means moss covered ways means path. There are some paths, there are some ways that are covered with moss, and the ways are in the zigzag way it moves. This is the imaginary world of the nightingale. What he wishes to go, he has already transported to the world of the nightingale. Giving up the idea of taking the wine, he already transported to the world of his dreamland nightingale with the help of his poetic imagination. This is what the first part of the poem, and the next part will be uploaded next Sunday just at 6 p.m. Goodbye.